Good evening and welcome to the June 5th, 2023 meeting of the Reston Community Center Board of Governors. The meeting will now be called to order. First order of business is the approval of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next, approval of the minutes of May 1st, the board minutes.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Next order of business is the approval of the board actions of May 1st.
So moved. Second. In the board actions, it says March 6th should be May 1st.
Oh, well, we did.
Good catch. I should have caught it too, because I mentioned there's no biggies in there.
Okay. Okay, so it's approval of the amended board actions report.
Thanks.
Already moved and seconded. That was the discussion.
Okay.
And so we don't have to vote, I guess.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Next order of business is the chair's remarks, and she'll talk real fast. It's really funny. My family thinks that I am not out enough, and they worry about me having vitamin C and whatever, because I stay in the house a lot and look at the TV. But I interact with people. I do. I really do, family. They go off to work and whatever, and I've started doing my, you can tell Gina, I've started doing my PT exercises again for my legs and my muscles. And I put a shout out to Karen Goff, because she had her knee done to tell me about it, because I just can't see 6 months. So I don't have to do surgery. I'll vicariously do it through her. And
that works, Deb. I heard
yeah,
it works.
It's
Not
less,
painful at all.
there's less pain.
There's less pain.
Very much cheaper.
Yes. But my family worries about me because I'm on the internet, which is what we've always called it since Esme was little. Whenever the power would go down, she'd go, the internet's around. But there's loads of things to look at, and I spend my days when I'm not doing laundry. The best acts of kindness. I mean, there are, we always talk about being kind and whatever, and sometimes I'll sit for hours just crying, looking at people doing nice things for people. And there's one called The Genuine Art of Kindness to Restore Your Faith in Humanity. And then I look at all my slot influencers. They tell me how to win money. It doesn't work.
You were talking about. You said slot, you stopped.
The slot influencers. Yes. They tell you how to win money. But and I figured out how you win money. You have
Stay
a
home.
lot of money when you go in.
And don't spend any.
When you
Don't
play.
Stay home.
No, you can win a lot if you spend. I've watched them spend $1,000 to win $20,000. But who's got $1,000 to walk in there with? So a lot of, you look at them go.
But they didn't show you the video where they just kept losing more $1,000.
Yeah.
20 times.
25.
Fred Flintstone. That's Fred Flintstone.
And also I look at Dimash. Dimash has I wrote about Dimash.
In the newsletter.
Yes, in the newsletter. And I don't know if anybody followed me down the.
I didn't go down the rabbit hole, but I will attest that he has a gorgeous voice.
But he also is it's like he's not of this, they say because of his voice and the fact that he has 6.5 octaves plus 2 semitones, that he's an alien. There are a lot of these guys that say in years they're going to find the spaceship that he came here. But also his politics are right. And he goes around the world talking about anti-racism, how to, in war, how to be kinder to people. And his latest, and I love these reaction people. People who will not let something happen before they react to it. They say, oh, this looks like whatever, and then they start talking about it. They just shut up, because the boy's smarter than you are, and you don't get it. But at the end of, if you get a chance on YouTube, it's called The Story of One Sky. And it's a movie. Another thing people don't know, he went to video school. He came to America to learn how to do filming. So this is a 13-minute film. And at the very end, it says, dialogue, understanding, and the widespread promotion of a culture of tolerance, acceptance of others, and of living together peacefully would contribute significantly to reducing many economic, social, political, and environmental problems that weigh so heavily on a large part of humanity. And the very last line of his whole thing is, we choose life. And my poem, this is from the irreverent rhymes of Yip Harburg. One sweet morning, out of the fallen leaves, the autumn whirled over, out of the shattered rose that will smile no more, out of the embers of blossoms and ashes of clover, spring will bloom, one sweet morning. Out of the fallen lads the summer whirled over, out of their flags plowed under a distant shore, out of the dreams in their bones buried under the clover, peace will come, one sweet morning. One sweet morning, the rose will rise to wake the heart and make it wise. This is the cry of life the winter world over. Sing me no sad amen, but a bright encore. For out of the flags and the bones buried under the clover, spring will bloom, peace will come. One sweet morning, one sweet morning. Next is the introduction of visitors. Harvey and his family are over here. And so there's no citizen input tonight. Next order of business is the May 22nd Finance Committee report.
I gave the oral version of this last time, and now you have the words here written, though I would point out they are both verbal descriptions. There were three items on the agenda. We often use verbal to mean oral, but really verbal just means report. Anyway, three main things.
You're gonna investigate the sandwiches.
What is in what is in this water?
That's
I brought my own to go out.
So we went through the monthly financials, no big surprises. We are under on personnel stuff, a bit over on operating, but nothing big going on there. One thing that is sort of in those numbers that came up, I think Dick brought this up, replacing the light fixtures in the center stage. Think about this when it comes to your own homes. Yes, we had to pay money to replace the light fixtures, but we saved twice. We saved because we paid less money to run those fixtures, and we saved because we spend less money cooling the facility because of the heat generated by the fixtures. So the efficiency means less heat, and so we are seeing that coming through. Second thing was the carryover. So we've got the carryover adjustments. It was basically the same thing that we had before, but with a few tweaks to it. And then the capital improvement and capital maintenance projects for the public hearing. And so those have been most of it. Obviously, the RCC on wheels and the energy audit stuff have been two of the big things, as well as the Genie lift is being replaced, and office systems, the cubicle stuff and furniture and all. So those are some of the big things. And then just the last thing we did talk about was just the what we need to do as the lease ends at Lake Ann. So it'd be sort of perhaps one of the next things that we need to tackle moving forward from a capital perspective. Any questions on the Finance Committee? All right.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bowie, or,
You want me to start and you finish, because you finished it that way?
No, I can do it. Go for it, I can do it.
I defer to
We
the
had the
president.
long-range planning committee meeting this evening to discuss the input and the slides that's gonna be delivered to the public on June 26th. A number of board members commented, those comments will be included in that package. The package is available online. And with that, we adjourn.
I love this
Question.
man.
What time is the meeting on the 26th? Is it 6:30?
It is
6:30.
6:30. 6:30.
Yes.
Is it
Perfect.
All right, could we have a motion to?
So
approve?
moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Good.
I would just like to add that one of these meetings, I'm gonna be able to jump in.
You are way too slow.
I know, I was thinking, oh,
We'll start with Shane on board member input on activities attended since last we met.
Yeah, so for me, it would be the Tefra Arts Fair at the Reston Town Center, which had a really good turnout in vendors this year. It seemed even bigger. I mean, every time we go, it seems bigger and bigger. So that's what I did.
Obviously, the Tefra ICA thing, the Finance Committee, and the Long Range Planning Committee.
lots of meetings, huh?
It's been graduation season for me, so it's been election season, graduation season. I've had other stuff occupying my days and nights.
Tefra, Park Authority meetings, Reston Town Center, North, plan meetings. It's just stuff.
Lots of meetings.
Stuff.
Yes. Please.
There we go. I'm so sorry, Mr. Cheffer. I could literally not wait there. I was having issues with one of my knees, so I did not go. And then I heard it was phenomenal, so I'm sorry I did not get to go. I attended the Pride Festival in Reston, and it grows, I think, by leaps and bounds. It was really quite nice, and just lots of different booths there, lots of kids and adults, families, and it was really neat. And this year, some people were noticing there's a police presence. They actually had a booth. And we said that's a sign of the times, because you just have to be protected. But it was great. Without an event, just really, really nice. I also attended.
Some of that is also not just for security and protection, but it's also a function of the Fairfax County Police
Being in the
Department
community.
wanting to do outreach and wanting to create a climate of trust.
And I think that's what they did, because
Yeah.
it was more of a table. It wasn't like they were standing, because I'm
Yeah.
sure they had, but they set up a table and people were asking questions. They did, there were 3 or 4, and they were presenting information. So that is important to see it that way. I just thought, oh, that's neat, you have a table too, because it was a table set up. But it was fun. And one of the things, that was a day, but it goes on for the month. So a lot of the different vendors there will have just things throughout the month, which is really, really great. So happy Pride here in Reston. I attended at the theater, Sean Dorsey, I forgot the title of it.
The Lost Art of Dreaming.
Of Dreaming. It was just phenomenal in so many ways. Well attended. There's a lot of people out there just to see great dancing, great choreography. I was like, wow, just some things they did. And the music. The music was just caught me off guard in a lot of ways, but it was very pleasant. So I'm glad I went to that. So and it's just neat every time we see something like, here we are in our local, where we live, just great theater. What else did I attend? I think just some things at Reston Chamber, trying to get out there a little bit more. And I think that is it.
The art festival looked out on the weather, which was good, and got to see the Pride Festival from my deck. But
That's a
got
good
to
way to-
listen to music, and attended many youth activities, including a basketball game where, not to mention anything about my granddaughter, but you know,
She is an awesome player. I'll say it for you.
but a swisher from a 3-point range.
No way. No way. How young is she?
She's
Woohoo.
11, so, and
I like that.
also a performance of My Library from
Aw.
school, which played Kay, or Kate, or whatever the girl's was. But anyway,
I also went to the Arts Festival, finished my Ollie course, which went over very well. I'm glad it's finished because it's a lot of work. And I missed the Pride Festival because I went to the Nats game, but I got very good reports of it from my son, who was certainly there. And he mentioned the police,
Present.
whatever it was. And he said it was kind of interesting because all of the other vendors seemed to have lots and lots of people around. The police one was deserted. At least that's what he said. So I'm not sure how well that went off. And if you want to go to Pride Festival next week, it's DC Pride. And I'm certainly going there. That's a much bigger deal.
It's the nation's capital, it should be.
Yeah.
I used to
A little
love the-
bit
I used to
bigger
love the high-
population.
The high heel race thing.
Oh, high heel race.
The high heel race, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
So,
So, I did the Tefra Festival, Reston Players Cabaret, which was good.
see that
The
too.
Next Stop Theater, I mean, that's not part of our operation, but they did In the Heights.
Oh, yes.
And for a small theater company, it was amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, it
they're
really was.
marvelous.
Yeah,
they
you're
just-
right there.
I had such, I went in with, you know, I know they're good, but they were great, really good. I took RA pickleball lessons and I paid for the program, so I'm officially old now. And I had
We don't
DMZ
use
meeting.
that word here. It's not pickleball.
Yeah.
I hate it, I didn't, why would anybody do it, but you know, you finally,
I missed the whole old reference.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. you
Yeah,
missed
well,
that one.
I turned
Endure.
75 yesterday, so I'm
Oh,
officially.
Yeah,
Compared
that's
to
very
these old
child.
generations.
Yeah, could have babysat him.
You would have been a good babysitter.
The one thing I missed, I did attend the final concert for the South Lakes High School Women Ensemble and Symphonic Band, which was good. So that was the last for 8 years for Heather and I, between our two kids. But my daughter won the John Philip Sousa Award.
Wow.
That's nice.
Love it. But yeah, but wrapping up band was kind of amazing.
Yeah. Well, I did the board supervisor's breakfast. You know,
What was this?
yeah,
I did that too. Yeah.
yeah.
Memorable experience.
And I'm the elder here, and I remember these things because you write them down. That's what you do. And there is also a group of RCC people who get together once a month to go bowling. And I went with them last month, and I was the oldest one, and I got the highest.
Yay.
So it's sort of like we.
I was gonna ask
You
if it was a
know,
we, you
No.
really did it in a we
No,
fashion
it's-
instead
yeah.
of a real
That's
ball.
a real
Okay.
deal.
It's the real thing.
So what did you vote?
What score?
What score did you?
138.
Whoa.
Yeah, great.
She's, listen, don't tangle with Ms. Caution.
As soon as I get my legs really together, I'll be able to stand up and actually walk.
You're walking
And I love the younger people, oh, not that much younger, but the younger ones bowling, who have this great form,
Yes,
but their ball goes
with
in the
no,
gutter.
no points.
Yeah. All you gotta do is aim it.
Yep.
Okay, I did that. I also.
That's my sport, I just haven't done it
That's the
since
thing.
COVID.
The Lost Art of Dreaming was absolutely stunning. That was just amazing. Went to the Tefra Art Festival opening, and then the next day I went back to see the.
Posey Corona.
Oh, that was just amazing.
Casa
Some of
Vida.
those people were really dancing on there. You had to pick where you were looking. That was incredible too. And then the RCO had their last concert of the season, and our choir director, Misha Tomanov, was the guest pianist. And finance meeting, the MLK keynote address meeting we had, that committee met. My church
I
is.
know, I gotta write stuff down.
As I tell you, write it down. And the UCP church, if everybody remembers when it was Redeemer Methodist.
Yeah.
But we had the 50th anniversary of the church.
Nice.
Your family says you need to get out more?
Right.
And I didn't, and I have to apologize, I did not go to the Pride event because I had to see the latest installment in Fast and Furious.
Can't miss that.
I love those things, they're
Oh.
so magical.
I should see David, I refuse to see the.
But they're just wonderful. As long as you go to them and you say, this is a fairy tale, none of this is real.
Right.
And Betty, I saw Betty, who also performed at Pride. And Betty started 37 years ago, at the same time I was going around cabarets in DC. They
No way.
started out.
Really.
Yeah.
Did you encounter him back then?
Oh yeah, I knew the Ziff father very well. Herb Ziff was an actor,
Okay.
character actor too. Yeah, he's the father of the two.
Two-thirds of Betty.
Yeah, 2/3. The next order of business is the executive director's report.
So you will be able to see that in your notebooks. One comment about facilities, our elevator is broken down, and that is why it's scheduled for replacement. So we're looking at the issues involved as well with ADA accessibility to the aquatics venue during any time that it's out of service. Basically using rear entry levels. You see the list of things that were presented during the last month in terms of our equity focus, Equity Matters programming. You all mentioned Sean Dorsey and the Lost Art of Dreaming. There also was the Josie Corona performance art at the Tefra Fine Arts Festival. The First Step, which is a film that follows, and now I'm going to forget his name, Van Jones, through the different encounters across the country that he had in pursuit of dialogue, creating dialogue from the extremes, and fascinating. And we had the producer-director team here to have a talk back after that. Our lack of lifeguards prevented us from being able to do the Women Only Swim the first Saturday in June, and a lot of that is because this stretch of time is very tough. All our teenagers are going to proms and this, that, and the other thing. So it's, we're hoping that eases up by mid-June. A lot of our off-site programming has kicked off in May. We've got the Darden Jazz Series at Reston Town Square Park, and the concert series that will be at Reston Station and at Reston Town Square Park get underway now. We've had successfully growing program participation, continuing in the programs you see listed there. And I mentioned in our long-range planning committee meeting that our community calendar is up, and our community partners are entering their events on that calendar. So we urge people to look at the RestonCommunityCenter.com website and visit the community calendar. We filed our CAPRA annual report on May 25th, 2023. And I go to a lot of meetings too. I did not go to Fast and Furious.
You didn't.
I did not.
You'd love it. I
It'll be
mean,
a very
alone,
cold
the
day in
dinner.
Hades before I go to a car movie.
But where else will you see a movie where there are two helicopters, each clamped onto the car.
Yes, and I have one word for you.
And
Oh.
Why?
I'm saying, if you go for pure, I don't care.
Art needs to know why.
No, and so the helicopter is pulling this car up, and the one thing my son-in-law says is, the thing I love is he can always get the back of his car down, no matter what's pulling him up. And he manages to get the back of the car down so that the helicopters don't crash into each other.
Well, the spoilers,
It's town.
right, because the spoilers
It
gives
is,
you
it's
down.
amazing. And we don't know if everybody's dead or not,
Friction.
but
She
there-
gets out,
there's
Bill,
this
I'm telling you,
another
she
one
gets
coming.
out.
Yeah.
I like that, I like that.
Hey, I get out of my house. and I
There you
have fun.
go.
Okay, next order of business is any recurring business, continuing. You got anything? Okay. Any new business? Make sure you look at all of the events down at the bottom.
Question, just, this is just young people coming this summer. The, Family Fun Entertainment Series.
Mhm.
I go on our website and find out what it is each week, or just, I think I'm just gonna show up, whatever it's gonna be
You
fun.
should show up,
Okay.
because it will always be fun.
That's, I figure, okay.
As long as
So,
we have anyone.
they
from your
started
family.
already though,
Yes.
right? They,
They
They
start in June,
oh,
and,
that's nice, so we'll be on this weekend.
yeah,
Oh, we're there.
there you go.
We would have already been up
Take
by
the little
three,
people.
by 3.5 hours, or 4.
There you go.
We were bringing little people. Yay, okay,
Bring the
cool.
little people.
All right, you used all those words you needed on that?
Yes, sorry. The one who said she would be short and read the whole poem, Norton's Anthology of Poetry. We got you.
I've been advanced.
I don't have to say a thing tonight. Lisa,
It's getting hot
keep
in
it going,
here.
baby. Keep it going.
Is there anything else anybody wants to say?
So welcome to our new public information
Yes.
officer,
Welcome,
Susan.
welcome.
Welcome.
Delighted to have you with us.
And we are insane.
We usually behave better than tonight.
Oh,
Maybe.
Normally we
People
behave better
elected
than
us.
this. What is wrong with us
Selected us.
tonight?
It's summer.
It was the sandwiches. You didn't have one, that's why you're calm. Okay. Okay, if there is nothing else, make sure you check these
Yeah,
things
I
here.
love it. We're gonna go.
And some of us have an event on Thursday that is not on here.
The ACE Awards.
Yes.
That's not a public event.
No,
Yes,
yeah, no,
but I mean,
I will be there. I will
if
see
if
you
they, yeah, they
You
didn't
will
write
be
it
there,
down.
both of you.
Yes.
It's
Okay,
kind of nice.
All right.
the meeting for,
Where are we? RC?
yeah, the meeting for June 5th is now adjourned.